This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, everything is working. Hi, y'all. We are the Spiritual Neighborhood. The Spiritual Neighborhood is a grassroots community project of the Council of Families for Children, a 501c3 nonprofit. We believe that sick can be fixed, so we support services that improve the quality of life for the body, mind, and spirit for the integration of a healthy, happy human being. Today is our Tuesday, which is Tipsy Techno Tuesday, where we're actually going to have a special guest who is Luann Morris, who is part of our team now. But we call her Herbal Lou. Herbal Lou. Isn't that right? Did I get it right? I did, didn't
Yes,
I? Okay.
you did.
Oh, I forgot my hat. And Herbal Lou does elderberry.
Oh, am I supposed to wear my hat?
Elderberry wine. No, not wine. Not wine. Syrup.
Wine to come. Wine may be on the agenda.
Oh my gosh, wait a minute. I lost connection on the Spiritual Neighborhood. Oh my gosh, and it's trying to reconnect. Y'all keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. Okay. Well.
So what do you create?
Well,
what are the
what I create
products?
Elderberry syrup, which helps with your immunity. It helps with colds and flus. There's been some research done where they have tested the elderberry syrup against Tamiflu. And those who took the elderberry syrup, they didn't know they were taking it. There was elderberry syrup, there was Tamiflu, and then there was a group with nothing. But the group with the elderberry syrup actually felt better in 3 days, where the Tamiflu people, it was like 4 days. So there was actually 24 hours difference in feeling better with the elderberry syrup.
Dang.
And when you're in hell, 24 hours
awesome.
is a long time, and the flu is hell.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Well,
Isn't that the truth?
the molecules or the components of elderberry are like anti-cathara, which means against mucus producing. So that really helps with colds and flus, and immune support, where they have the active molecules are like flavonoids, quercetin, rutin, and anthocyanins. The quercetin.
I'm sorry, my eyes just kind of glazed over.
I was like, oh
What
my
does
God,
that
is there a
mean?
test?
These are flavonoids.
So this is the stuff that's in
Flavonoids,
wine.
okay.
Luann, is this the same stuff that we always tell ourselves that makes wine good for us?
You're right. That's what makes wine good for us.
And it's like 10
Are
times
those
more.
components.
Isn't it 10 times more than regular wine?
If it's red wine or some sort of wine made with Concord grapes, the anthocyanins are the purple colors in fruits and vegetables.
Oh,
That's what they are. And they actually extract those anthocyanins. They're also called flavonoids. They also extract those to make, put the color in purple sodas and yogurt and other kinds of things like that, so they don't have to use artificial dyes.
Not to be confused with red dye. It's not the same thing as red dye.
No, it is not. It's all natural, and it can be used to dye food.
Right.
Which makes it more palatable to our eyes.
But you know what? Here's what's crazy to me. So they tout the qualities of wine and the medicinal value. And I know people like to make jokes because they just like to enjoy it, and they use that as a rationale. But muscadine grapes, which are prevalent in Arkansas and other parts of the South, makes a wine that is more potent than Merlots and other different red wines. But the elderberry is even more potent than the muscadine. So my question is why do you think that it gets so overlooked and so ignored for drink and for medicine and everything else?
Well, let me see if I can show this picture now.
I made her a host so she could share her screen.
Yeah, there you go.
How awesome is that?
I'm getting so good at this.
Yes, you are.
This is what elderberries look like.
It worked.
So this would be the group, the flowers. Also, it flowers in late May, early June, and then it, of course, progresses to berries. But you see the red stems and all of the branches, the leaves, the roots, all contain cyanide. Cyanide is not good for your body. And if you continue to eat those little parts, the cyanide can build up in your body and kill you.
Oh my goodness.
So here's what
Giving
I
me
feel
ideas.
is the problem then. No, don't go there. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to harvest all those little berries. That's why.
You can poison yourself just picking them.
Yes. Well, no, not unless you're licking your finger.
Well, I would do that.
But I have taken a berry off the vine and eaten it. I wanted to make sure it was not fermented, and I wanted to make sure it was fresh, and I had no symptoms, problems, anything. But I don't do that every day, so it wasn't building up. But you pluck off the little berries, you wash them, you make sure there's no stems in there. And then you process it. And everything I've read about processing the syrup is it's really better to boil it. It's not like on high boil, because then you kill everything.
A slow roll.
Just a slow, you get it, because you want to reduce the amount of water and concentrate it. All these flavonoids that I was talking about that made your eyes glaze over, those are all water soluble. And they are able to leach out of the berries into the solution because they're water soluble.
Right.
Opposed to alcohol or solvents of other kinds. So I think that's why they're not used as much. You said your mom loves elderberry wine. Well, oh my gosh. I was looking up how to make elderberry wine. There is a huge process to go through, because you ferment it, then you strain it, then you let it ferment some more, then you strain it, then you clear it with okay, so I don't want to be gross, but there's a natural fish gill that they use to clear the wine from particles and things.
Wow.
Yeah,
I never heard that.
Cool.
Okay.
You can use chemicals, but this fish gill is all natural, and it's a particular fish that I don't remember. But anywho, then when you get it completely clear, then you can bottle it. So it's a big process to make. Well, it's the same process that you use to make any wine, I guess. But you're starting with little berries. You've got to have a lot of them. I have a young friend, Emily, who collected elderberries for me. She found some growing in the wild. She was so excited. But that's just it. She got a little quart bag full, and she collected a whole bucket full of these groups of berries.
Well,
so it's time consuming.
So I was listening. One of the things that you said a while ago is that you tasted it to see if it was fermented. And a lot of people are going, what does that mean? Well, I know what that means now, because we actually bought some plums last week at Farmer's Market. And when I bit into it, I'm like, this tastes like alcohol. The plums actually had fermented. Now, Mom and Scott had a fit with them. They thought they were wonderful. And I'm like, no, I don't want my plums tasting like that. You don't want
to start out with them that way. You want to add, because what's happened is wild yeast, which collects on fruit because they have fruit sugars. So a wild yeast can take over and ferment your fruit. That's what happens as it ages.
See, I didn't like the way it tasted, but they did, and they enjoyed it. But it did. Yeah. It tasted just like wine, plum wine. Which
I don't like it that way either.
I don't either, but they enjoyed it, so I was glad they were happy. And it didn't make them sick, so I was glad to hear that too.
Well, I I don't want my elderberries fermented by a wild yeast. If I'm going to ferment elderberries, I'm going to use the yeast I want to use. It's going to be more productive, which is usually a champagne yeast or something.
Well, and that also brings in the question, if people suffer from candida and other yeast-borne diseases that cause a lot of inflammation, is that going to be helpful or hurtful? So that's a whole other can of worms.
Of course it is, and you have to know, you have to kind of experiment with it, because one of the things elderberry is known to do is reduce inflammation in the body.
Right.
It's a big proponent. The rutin, well, all three of these flavonoids that are in the fruit help with cardiovascular disease.
Oh, okay.
They strengthen and make the arteries and capillaries stronger and more flexible.
Well, I love all these natural healing things,
wow.
but you got to be careful with them. So here's my example of that.
Yeah.
I started taking milk thistle because it's supposed to purge your gallbladder and your liver, and that seems to be something that's prominent in my family. Oh my God, I took 1 dose and it cleaned me out. So, I'm not doing that again anytime soon. I'm just not. So just because things are good for us doesn't always mean they're good for us specifically. And that's why you need, I think it's really helpful to have someone like you or another type of holistic practitioner to help you walk through, because, too many people go on Amazon and just start ordering supplements. And I've done it. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's dangerous.
Yeah, it can be.
There are many things that you can take. Like you said, oh, I got this, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take that. But some of it actually interferes with your prescription medication.
Mm-hmm. Or your other supplements.
Right.
Your other supplements,
Right.
That's right.
Like most people don't know that you cannot take calcium with your iron if you have an iron issue, because the calcium will keep the iron from being absorbed. And you also need to take vitamin C with the iron to help the absorption. So they all affect one another. And, people just kind of go hairy, scary, helter-skelter,
Because sometimes you can take them, but like you take the iron in the morning and you take the calcium at night, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As long as you're not putting them in your stomach at the same time, sometimes that's okay too. But you still have
you
to
got to be
research
careful
it.
with that.
You got to
That
have
can really
people,
upset your stomach and make you throw up if you're not careful.
You've got to have somebody that can research that for you. You've got to be very diligent in combining over-the-counter supplement with your prescription medication.
Well, and it's amazing to me how many medical doctors, your standard medicine practitioners, don't know how all of that affects. Like when I take Mom to the doctor, I hand them a list of all her supplements. She takes vitamin D, calcium. I mean, she takes about probably 10 supplements. And he's going, I don't need all this. And I'm like, you absolutely do need all this. And let me tell you why. And he and I had a 30-minute conversation about her thyroid medication and how she couldn't take that with this and vice versa. And it's discouraging if they don't know it, but it's encouraging if they're willing to sit down and learn and listen to you when you're not the doctor.
And this is something that American doctors, Western medicine, they don't include that in their education at all. And unless they're interested in over-the-counter supplements for their patients or being holistically integrated with Western medicine, they don't know.
It's true. I see it time and time again.
You have to be your own medical advocate in that case.
Well, then the other thing on that is anytime you're taking any kind of medication, one of the first things you need to do is find out what the side effects are.
Oh, my God. Those are scary, too. Oh, my God.
I know, but you need to know. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I include cautions with the elderberry syrup because of it's mainly elderberry syrup. There's some other herbs in there too. My throat spray is not mostly elderberry syrup. It just includes that with echinacea and some other things. But since the elderberry has the greatest amount of elderberry in it, the elderberry syrup, you have to be careful with not over medicating because it can cause diarrhea. You have to be
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, there was a little thing on the back there, Deborah, that said these are your precautions.
Yes, you're correct. And I thought, well, I can handle it. But let me tell you what I did. When I had to take Mother to the hospital, we had to sit in the ER for 12 hours. And I swear there was 2 people in there that had the virus. And so the first thing I did when I got home and got Mother checked into her room is I grabbed my elderberry syrup that I'd gotten from Luann and I'm slugging it. And I'm slugging it every 4 hours, which is what it says, but I wasn't measuring the slug. And I'm getting a big mouthful of it because my theory was that I was going to rev up my immune system in case I had been exposed. And since a third of the hospital, since it was a small hospital, was dedicated just to virus patients, good chance I was. And I wanted to, help myself have a better immune system. It obviously worked. I don't have it. But I did clean my system out in the process.
And then you took milk thistle and did it again.
Yeah, 2 weeks later I did it again. So I'm a clean teen.
Well, you just have to be careful because even though these things are supposed to be safe for you, if you overdo it, it can be. The elderberry is really boosts the immune system. If you're trying to knock your immune system down for a special procedure like, bone marrow transplant, you do not want to take the elderberry.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought of that.
No, you can't. Any medication you're taking to reduce your white blood cells, which is a part of your immune system, you don't want to take the elderberry because they'll be fighting each other all the time.
No.
Yes, because the elderberry
that
says,
makes sense.
Hey, we need to keep our immune system up. You need to keep these white
Well, of course. Yeah.
You need to keep these white blood cells coming so we can fight this.
Right. Yeah.
But
That makes
if
sense.
you're working towards a special procedure where you want your white blood cells to come down, you don't want to be taking elderberry.
Well, I will tell you this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I gave blood last week, and they test you for the antibodies. I don't have them. They test your cholesterol. They test your iron. I have not been taking my iron supplement for a year. My iron was great, and my cholesterol was lower than it had ever been. And I do believe, I don't care what anybody else says, I do believe it's because I've been using the elderberry products for the past 2 months. I do. I firmly believe that.
Well, then.
Oh, I need to get on the elderberry wagon.
Well,
Yeah.
Jenny.
Sorry.
Where's the wagon? Jenny, our friend Jenny, when she's feeling like a cold is coming on or something, or her daughter's sick,
This is true.
she takes a tablespoon every day not every 4 hours, until she feels
Once a day, every day. And it does. It helps to knock out all of she went to Europe that time and came back, and she contracted a really bad head cold, and it turned into a major congestion.
Mm-hmm.
And she used that elderberry, and it worked.
Oh my God.
It helped her with all those symptoms.
Mm-hmm. It's just amazing. And the other thing you need to keep in mind is I use honey to sweeten the elderberry. And because I use honey, you should never give it to a child under 1. They've determined that children under 1 should not eat honey. And I believe it's
Okay.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know that. Of course, I don't have any children under 1, so it doesn't matter.
So I would never give it to any child under the 1 year of age.
So what got you into, because you've got 30 years of biology training and work and stuff, and you were in the operating room as a nurse for, 12 years, I believe you said?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was 12 years in the operating room. Then I went to biology. I got my biology degree.
why
Eleanor
elderberry?
Rhodes, it's her fault.
Whoever that is.
I was there one
That
day.
would be my mother.
Yes, the mother of Elizabeth.
That would be my
Holden.
mom.
Oh, I thought she was talking like I had a vision
Seriously,
of
no, that is.
I thought a farm.
That's my
I was
mom.
thinking that was the name of a farm.
No,
Duh. Hello.
no, Eleanor.
Eleanor Rhodes. Yeah,
That's what I heard, like a farm. Oh, shit.
No,
well, it could have been. I mean, yeah, why not? We had other stuff. Why not?
but Elizabeth
Ours
was
is
so
more like a zoo than a farm. But yeah, anyway, mother. Yes, it was my mom's fault.
yes.
Well, good for her.
Eleanor had this cough that she had forever, and
Chronic.
it was just and constantly trying to. And I said, well, I think I've got something I can make for her, and that's what I did,
And it fixed it?
and it fixed it.
She did.
She would take it
Almost
especially-
immediately.
She would take it especially at night so she could sleep.
You need to come up with something for diverticulitis and something to clean out the sludge and gallbladders.
I have that.
What?
I have something for gallbladders called Stone Buster.
Oh. Oh.
Elizabeth
Yeah,
doesn't
she
like
does.
it because of the licorice,
Oh, I
but
don't like licorice either.
Yeah, I don't like licorice.
because
I mean, I
can,
don't. It's true, I
Because
don't.
because I make it myself, I can take the licorice out and
Can you make
just
it?
hope that
Yes.
Can you put
the other
peppermint in
component.
it or something else or caramel
I
or?
think it has peppermint. I think it has peppermint in it. I don't have the recipe on my desk, but I do. I can make it.
Mother has sludge in her
I think we
gallbladder.
all need some.
Yeah, she's got sludge in
I
her
think we all need
gallbladder.
some.
Well,
that's the
there's
thing.
also one on the market. There's one on the market that is in a pill form.
Yes.
Don't know how long it.
Well, if it tastes
have
good,
that
I'd
too.
rather drink it. Sometimes I buy gummy vitamins just to eat like candy once a day.
Yeah, I get that.
Because
Yeah, I get that.
because I have to take because I have a condition where I don't absorb all my nutrients, so I have to take a buttload of supplements. And sometimes you just want to break it up. It's monotonous, 4 times a day. So
Sure.
I'll buy those little gummies as my treat.
Well, I really think that when Luann got that, what was it, the Stone Buster, created that Stone Buster and stuff, that really helped me tremendously. And I mean, I was faithful with drinking it. I bitched about it the entire time.
Oh, I
but
bet. I can
was
hear it.
faithful.
Because when you make
Yeah,
it
'cause
up, it
I-
makes a quart, and you take a half a cup every 2 hours
A
until it's all
cup?
gone.
A cup? Oh no, I can't do licorice. A cup. Oh no.
One
no.
half cup
No.
every 2 hours.
Oh no, not licorice.
Every two.
Oh my God, I would just die.
And it was like, I don't know, this is going to stay down or not. And
Yeah.
then it would. And it's like, well, okay.
No.
I mean, that's a major accomplishment at that point when
No.
you can keep it down. But it did ease there's a tightness that you feel when your gallbladder is having a reaction. And it feels like the side of your stomach or, around in that area is like hard as a rock. It just feels hard like a rock.
I didn't know that.
And when you can finally, let that relax enough to where you're not, like this all the time, then it can actually do its thing like it needs to. And that stuff really worked for me. And it's been over a year now, so I probably need to drink it again.
Make a different flavor though. Ooh, licorice. Ugh. Does that work on kidney stones?
I just can't do
Yes.
licorice.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
cool.
for kidney stone. It's any stone, actually.
I want
Kidney
some of that.
stones,
I want some of
gallbladder
that.
stones.
I believe in preemptive,
Well, if you get-
preventative. Preventative. I believe,
Yeah. Let's see. The other thing, I did find something for the diverticulitis.
You did? What was it?
You had to ask.
Well, of course. What's the point in finding it if you don't tell us about it? Is it me today or what? Is it just me or is everybody just on another plane? Come in for a landing, Luann. Come in for a landing.
I did tell you, and you went, uh-huh. But I think there were other things going on, and it just went right through.
Well, I'm having trouble with the cameras today. I don't know what the hell's going on. First of all, on one camera, your head was cut off for about 10 minutes, and I got that fixed. And then the other one kept going offline, and it's sticking right now because I threatened to kick its ass if it didn't stay working. So, I mean, today is just crazy.
Well, this particular...
It's all because of the solar flares.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you don't explain that. And we're all like, oh, of course, she's right. What the hell are you? We're waiting for you to explain it.
Well, this particular...
That would be under the space weather. Look it up.
Yeah, we're going to give you a list. Here's our show today. We're going to give you a list of subjects that we find interesting. Go look them up. We're not going to talk about it.
Just Google that. All you got to do is Google it.
Go to the Google. Go to the Google.
God help me.
Oh, my
Okay,
God.
we'll pay attention now, Luann. Go ahead.
Wild yam and valerian together helps diverticulitis.
But what about the estrogen issues with wild yam? What if they have PMS problems or anything like that hormonal? Will that help or hurt? I had a good question.
I would have to investigate that because that is not something I thought about.
Ha! Ha! I thought of it.
Wild yam. There is such a thing as wild yam.
And you actually can use the cream and rub
Dysphoria
it.
villosa.
And you rub it into your thighs if you have PMS and estrogen issues to help control the hormone levels. I'm having to research.
You're kidding.
No, that's old news. Old. That's been around for years. But the reason I'm researching this is that mothers having these night sweats 3 and 4 times a night, and the doctors can't figure it out, and they're saying her ovaries are shriveled up enough that it's not hormonal. Well, if it's not hormonal, what the hell is it? I mean, she's waking up just drenched, and we got to fix this shit, you know? So I'm pulling all the plugs out.
That is so uncomfortable, and you certainly don't want her to get cold.
No, and she can't sleep good. She needs her sleep.
Once you get wet, then they can be susceptible to getting chills and stuff, and you don't want that either.
Well, I just don't want her uncomfortable, period. She needs to have a good night's rest.
Right,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that we need to try this. If the yam, like you said, is a modulator, it's not going to interfere with the hormones. It's just supposed to modulate them or make them.
Okay, this is going to sound crazy. Do I have lipstick on my chin? Oh, so sorry. So here's the thing: Mother has never had menopausal symptoms, and she's 87 years old. She's never had hot flashes. And a lot of my aunts were like that, supposedly. I've not verified that because they're all dead now. But so from what I'm hearing, it's a thing in my family for women not to really have any menopause symptoms. So maybe this is her late menopause. Is that possible? Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I would not.
Could that be?
She's in her 80s, right?
She's 87 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't expect that, but anything is possible, I think.
Well, especially in our family.
It's not something that a doctor would expect. It's not something that I wouldn't say it's impossible because everyone is different.
Right.
So that makes me a little hesitant about the wild yam stuff on how that would react because I don't know a lot about it. I just know that Dr. De Vries was a Swedish doctor in the 70s here in Dallas that came from Sweden Dr. DeVries. Hello, I'm Dr. DeVries. That's how he talked.
Sure.
And he was one of the first doctors in the United States that diagnosed and treated PMS in this country. Because back in the 70s, no, PMS did not exist. That was all in our heads. Women did not have emotional trauma wrapped around their periods,
Yeah.
And that was one of the ways that they treated it when they couldn't get progesterone tablets and suppositories and stuff for women on their insurance because it was so expensive. And he used that to help treat women when they needed other resources. God, I'm just a walking book of stupid trivia sometimes.
Wealth of information.
Okay, so I have a trivia for you. Since we're talking about elderberries today, I have a trivia for you.
Oh, good. I love tests.
Got it. The test.
It's not good.
Good.
Hans Christian Andersen, he wrote a lot of children's books.
Yes.
Well, he wrote a fairy tale for children called The Little Elder Tree Mother, where the mother came out of a cup of elderflower tea to soothe the child that had a cold.
Oh,
Wow. Isn't that sweet?
That's
That is
sweet.
sweet. And
So they used to make tea out of elderberry.
elderflowers. The
Elderflowers.
You can take, let's see,
I bet you I can get that on Amazon. Amazon has everything.
but if you can get some elderflowers, you just take a quart jar, you stuff it full of elderflowers up to the little neck. You heat up 3.5 cups of water. You can boil it, but then you let it cool down some. You don't put it on there straight off boil. You cover it for 30 minutes, and then you filter the flowers out of the liquid, and you can drink it like tea. Add honey.
And is it the same benefits as the syrup?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I wrote that down. I'm amazed. I'm
You
fascinated.
can steep it, and the flowers and the berries have a kind of a bitter flavor. So when you add the honey, that covers it some.
I like bitter flavors, though.
Yeah.
Some people do. I don't care for it.
I do.
And the other little bit is, you can make jams and pies and tarts, flavored drinks. But the elder tree, the small stems of the elder tree are hollow. And Native Americans, yes, they're hollow. So Native Americans and other indigenous groups would cut them and make flutes out of them.
Oh, cool. I wonder if I could play that any better than the ones I've got.
Some make them like a pan flute where you put them all together and make them different lengths.
Yeah.
And then some would put little holes on the end, so when you blow through it, you can put your fingers on the holes. Actually, there's also a mentioned elderberry in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. They made the Elder Wand.
Elder Wand, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, let's see. The exact line was, "Did you know that the most powerful wand in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is from Sambucus wood, which is the elderberry, or elder bush, and it's known as..."
Wow, I didn't know
Just a little
that.
trivia there.
Yes.
Just a little
elder wand.
trivia.
That's what we are. We're the elderberry of the world because we're elders.
In the research of history, the Native American burial ground, they found elderberry seeds.
Did they think it was going to bring them back to life, or?
No, it was just consistent with moving things in and out of the burial grounds and how they would have been used in the home. It could have been used as a part of a riot. I started to say riot.
Like a rite of passage?
Yes.
Like a going on to continue on their journey.
Elizabeth, don't help her. It's funnier when you don't help her. I like to see what she comes up with. Don't help her.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
The rest of the world knew what she meant. We wanted to see if she could figure out what she meant.
Well, that's what friends do.
RITE, right.
Right. Like right aid.
RITE.
Yes, right.
Rite of passage.
Not to be confused like when I'm always right, which is RIGHT.
Correct. It is RITE. Right.
I just had to throw that out there.
You'll notice we didn't agree.
I don't care. I don't need to be reassured that I'm right. I know.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, back to elderberry. Sarah.
I think that, the throat spray has echinacea in it, and that has been proven to be very helpful for colds and flus. And when you put those things together, it brings a complement to your cold because you're taking the elderberry syrup for a cough, or if you don't have a cough, you just got a sore throat, you can use the spray. And it has other things in it. The syrup has ginger, honey,
Good stuff.
cinnamon. Yeah.
I like the syrup better because I'm not fond of the way echinacea tastes, but I have to give you kudos on that spray. Back before the virus, BC, back in BC, when I was still working parties, back in February, I developed a really sore throat and my gland was really swollen over here. And I don't know why, because I've never had that happen before. And I'm like, oh my God, because I had like 3 gigs in a row that week. And I'm like, I can't, and I was losing my voice. And I'm like, I can't have this. And this is right after you brought it. So maybe it's the latter part of February, 1st of March. And I got in there and I sprayed my throat. And I didn't overdo it. I just sprayed it in the morning and I sprayed it that night. And then I sprayed it the next morning and it was all gone. I mean, right as rain. It was amazing. Absolutely.
Well, now that's made with alcohol
Amazing
too.
stuff.
It's
It's made with brandy. I make it with brandy.
Oh, I love
Honey
brandy.
brandy.
I just figured you made it with love for me personally, and that's why it was so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it works.
So
it really works.
Luann,
It's good stuff.
Tell people how to order this stuff from you because you make it for sale. It's available. That's why we're talking about it.
They need to go to herbaloo.com, ATRBAL-LU.com. And I have a shop on there where they can see these things. I also have I don't have it on there yet. My cold and flu salve. I need to make some for the winter. It's kind of like Vicks Vapor Rub.
For the winter box.
Yeah. And I make some chapstick.
Oh, I love the chapstick. I have some of that.
Good
It's
stuff.
great. It's great.
I do make it
Good
with
stuff.
peppermint. My son doesn't like peppermint, so if you like peppermint, you probably won't care for it.
I love peppermint. So, and if you go to the Spiritual Neighborhood Facebook page, on our bios list of all our guest speakers, Luann's been on here before, and her information's there if you can't remember, or you can just email us at spiritualneighborhood.com and I'll forward it over to her because I have the direct link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already August. It's already August, so I need to get to the store where they have the boxes I need for the winter box. And
Yes. You need to start making those winter boxes.
Yeah.
It's going to be here soon.
it'll have the syrup,
Soonly.
the throat spray, some chapstick, the cold and flu salve, and a hand balm.
Oh, I love the hand balm.
The hand balm.
But you know what I wish you would do? You know how you did the tattoo salve and you whipped it and it was nice and creamy? I wish you would do that with the hand balm and whip it Whip it good. Do 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 do. Whip it.
Whip it good.
Whip it good. I love that.
Whip it good.
So
Because you feel like it's easier to apply.
yeah, I get frustrated when things make me work hard. So because I'm lazy. I'm looking up Jesse's phone number so I can't find Jesse's phone number so I can talk about him before we leave. We also have we have a new guest coming next week that Luann arranged for us. Tell them about our new guest. That's next week on the 17th.
I've got Jesse's phone number.
I do too.
Brenda Bailey.
Yes.
She teaches theta healing, and she is also a theta healing master. And she's going to talk to us about theta healing and why it works.
I'm excited about this.
Awesome.
Now let me tell you why I'm
Yes.
excited about this. Luann is so modest, so let me talk about Luann a little bit more since she's here. Luann is a theta healer, and I was privileged to have her do a theta healing session on me Friday. I have had a back problem since I was 5. I was stepped on or tromped on by a horse, and also if you believe in the body showing things that we have in our lives that show up, lower back issues is about not feeling enough support, having a lot of pressure, that type of thing. Louise Hayes talks about that. So does Florence Shim. So I've had this issue since I was 5. I've had things that have helped, but never really, and if my stress level goes up, so does my pain level. And since the virus has hit, my pain level's been about 10 in my back because I haven't been able to get regular massage. And so Luann did theta healing on me Friday, and I'm a firm believer in energy healing of different types. I may not call it the same thing you do, but I believe in it. My pain level has been reduced by over 80% since Friday. I can now sleep through
that is awesome.
I can sleep through the night. In fact, now I resent the dogs for waking me up at 5:30 because I'm still sleeping. Whereas before, I was up waiting for them to get up to take them out because I couldn't sleep any longer. I have some twinges. I'm not going to tell you it's 100% perfect, but if it never gets any better than this, I'm a pretty happy camper. Seriously. So
that's awesome.
So get drunk on the elderberry syrup and then go see Luann for some theta healing. What could it hurt? So, I mean, seriously, it's incredible. It is incredible. So Brenda's your mentor, right? Is she?
Brenda is my mentor.
So
and
she's,
teacher, yes.
We're having her on there. So we'll have her mentor. But it's an incredible experience. I was thrilled, absolutely thrilled. So,
Yes, I'm still in the learning phase of, really doing it with clients. And I have some guinea pigs. Elizabeth is one of them. And we haven't worked on issues yet, but we're going to.
oh, she's got a lot. You're going to be busy.
But the more you do it, the better you get. And, we can revisit your back problem again and try to get 100%.
I would like to try that. I really would, because I can tell things are shifting still. So it's not like it's not like it's like waving a magic wand, abracadabra. I have felt shifting going on in my body every day since then. I still feel it. And certain things will pop up in other parts of my body. And it's almost like the back's going, okay, we're going to realign that. And I can feel my body still working. So I'd like to wait another week and then try it again just to see,
We can.
And here's the thing about me. I will not personally recommend something I have not tried. I just won't. I can tell people it sounds like a good idea. I can tell you if I know people that have had good experiences, but I personally will not put my endorsement on it, not because I'm important, not because I'm so great, but because I like to tell the truth. And I believe in what Luann is doing. I do. I really do.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
She's very good.
She is.
Excellent.
She's very good. She's very good.
She is. Yes.
All right. So Thursday we have Catherine with us doing yoga and helping us work out the kinks since we're all sitting on our ass getting fat. Nobody's going to argue. Nobody's going to argue with that.
No, not at all. There's no room to argue anymore. I used to could argue, but it's all filled up now. No room.
Well,
Chair's full.
Well, I've been pretty good at maintaining my weight, but I have help, so I can't take credit for it. But I love what Catherine shows us and everything, and she's adorable. And I'm going to make her bring the twins on one week and show her twins. She has the cutest twins. Oh, my God.
That would be so nice.
I'll email her and say, we want to see the twins. Sweet. Yeah. Luke and Cordelia, they're just adorable. At least see them. Yeah. So they're about 9 months.
Just, see.
Yeah. And,
oh, my goodness.
And she's got a 5-year-old Jonathan, and he's just as precocious and adorable as he can be. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Brenda. I'm looking forward to drinking next week again. And y'all better join me. Because I am drinking Kahlua in my protein shake. I'm telling you what, that is God's man. That is God's gift to man right now. It really is. Kahlua and protein shake. Healthy and happy.
A healthy, happy human.
Yeah, I am. All right, y'all got anything else to say?
Nope. And you got Jesse's number?
Oh, Jesse's number. Jesse, our sponsor.
Oh, Jesse, yes.
God almighty.
His phone number is 214-906-3787.
Yep.
And he trimmed your trees, right, Elizabeth?
He's a general contractor.
He did an excellent job.
He does everything.
Excellent. And
he
painted your kitchen, didn't he?
He painted he's painted almost my whole house in the past year. He redid He redid my master bath that got screwed up. This is how I met Jesse. He enclosed our screened-in porch and turned it into a real room and put its own air and heat in there. Anytime I have something that just is driving me nuts, he comes over and goes, "Now, Deborah, we could do this, or we could do this. Now, which would you prefer?" And so he knows how to talk. He knows how to talk me off the ledge when I'm really hyped up. So I love that.
Yeah.
He's put in a new hot water heater for us. He's done a ton of stuff. He's my go-to person for just about everything. Oh, he put a new roof on my house. What the hell?
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we got up in the attic this past fall, and Scott comes down. And he goes, "We have 3 beams in our attic that are broken." I'm like, "What?"
Oh my goodness.
The beams were broken. And so anyway, we were able to file a claim because of the health, and this was right after the tornado and all this stuff. And he had guys, and they took, not only did they take the roof off, they took the roof off down to the bare bones and parts of the roof so they could replace those beams, because that's the only way they could get them in and out. Did all that, put on a beautiful new roof, did it in 2 days. It's awesome. Did it under budget. That's even better. The guy's fabulous.
Yeah.
He is.
That's what you need.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Wow.
Call him for everything. If he can't do it, he'll tell you.
I need him to come over and fix my mailbox.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
The city hit my mailbox and it went.
They should fix it. They should have to fix it. Call them. Tell them to fix it.
I know.
Or have Jesse fix it and send him the bill.
Nothing's happening.
All right, I'm going to
do that.
I'm going to close this out.
Okay.
Thank you for being with us. Help us support others, both those who need services, like us, and those who offer gifts, talents, and services by liking our page on Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is the Spiritual Neighborhood Network. You can contact anyone from any of our shows by emailing thespiritualneighborhood@gmail.com. I'll forward the emails to them. And if you offer anything that makes people laugh, smile, sing, or feel better, you are a holistic healer, and we would like to talk to you. We are here to teach that the body heals with play, the mind heals with laughter, and the spirit heals with joy. So we're hoping that you have a dose of all of that today, and come see us on Thursday. And we'll see you then.
Thursday.
Be there. Bye, y'all.